Hey, good evening, good evening, happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to ILM uh, trading session discussions, right? So today we'll just talk about random stuff, anything you guys want to bring up, any charts, request, and then we could start, picking up charts for tomorrow or this week. Um, I could feel free to start, running through some question and answer, either as a personal trading struggle, challenges, anything you guys have, right? That will help me understand where you are and what are you looking to achieve, right? As a person, as a trader, or whatever the case is, right? It doesn't have to be relative to trading as well, right? So it could be anything off topic, just to brainstorm, struggle, and all that. Right, so let's go ahead and get started with SPY, right? So I have my SPY chart up. I'm looking at the daily chart, right? So this is what you guys see on on the screen, right? Can you guys see the screen, right? Clearly?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We could see everything.
All right, great. So this is the chart I drawn, I think, almost like a couple of weeks ago, right? If I go drop it down to the weekly, so you'll probably see two different types of ascending triangles. So typically, it's been respecting, this one, the previous one from October of God, wow, 2018, kind of went through. This is a weekly chart, right? Then we had that crazy dump due to COVID, low 218, and then kind of reversed up, right? It's still within the weekly triangle, right? So what I'm looking here is to see what's coming, even though the week was pretty crappy, right? This week, a lot of sell-off occurred, especially in the China region. A lot of the shares have took tremendous amount of hit, right? Um, so what I have here is my 438.20 mark. This is, I think, the support that I picked up from a long-term support, right? So I want to see if it continues to hold this level. And looks like, yesterday, Friday, it kind of jumped over some of the key level and key support level, and then it back into the triangle, right? The ascending triangle. So looks to be okay, right? We don't know what's coming tomorrow. If we could kind of trickle down to the shorter time frame, what's happening in a minute, right? This is today after our market looks like is about to be open. So it hit at 445, 444, right? So let's see what happens in the AM. So let me just quickly move on to let me see, what do I want to jump into? Any question on these? If you guys participate, better it is, because then I get to answer questions. If not, then probably, I'm not gonna talk so much, right?
Yeah, no questions so far, so keep moving.
All right, cool. So any of you guys follow SPY or like Dow or Nasdaq futures? Do you guys follow any of the futures? Anyone? I guess not, right? So a lot of people, a lot of trader trades XPX, right? Hold on, SPX. That's probably the S&P 500. Let me see. So SPX, right? So this is like the indexes, right? The S&P 500 index. So it's about almost kind of work around the SPY level too. We see this is at 4441, and we saw SPY on a different level. The chart's probably almost going to be identical, right? One is ETF, another one is the indexes. So if you see, both of them are kind of almost chart is identical looking right here. We see this one at 4441 and this one at the top of it kind of gapped up a little bit. So yeah, it's 444550ish and whatnot, right? So markets should be open now. Typically on Sunday nights or any other nights, right? When the Asia market opens, then we start seeing a lot of shift within the market. Let's say late at night, around 12 to 1, 2 o'clock, different region opens up. So we'll start seeing, movement on these. But any special request on charts that you guys want me to look at? If not, then I'll probably jump into some of the charts that I have for this week. I want to start, messing around with and see what's going on. All right. I guess no question. So let's jump into AMD. Right, this is one of the AMD one that kind of did a significant move last week or two. So this is what I had drawn from my levels, right? I seen. Do you guys know what these lines are? Anyone can take a guess. You could type it in the text if you feel shy, or unmute yourself. So this is the Fibonacci levels, right? I know some of you probably use it already. So the Fibonacci, basically, it's a retracement level, right? So I had this from the low to the high, high to the low, depending on, on your trend. If it's downtrend, we do a reverse. If it's uptrend, we just pull it differently. So let me just show you guys how to do this. So let me remove the drawing, right? So here, what I'm seeing, right? We had the, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Someone had a question?
I don't think so.
Okay. So typically, there's many different ways people use Fibonacci, right? You could do high to the low on a downtrend. So here, the previous one, I did low to the high, the first high of the trend, which was here. Now from this high, what is it doing? It's kind of coming down, right? So I would probably take the first low of the trend, which is this one here. Typically, when you use Fibonacci's, right, it's pretty magical if you know how to use it properly, right? Anyone see what's shaping up here, right? It's kind of almost like a bear flag forming, right? You see a pole, then hold the straight support, right? It kind of broke below the zero support, and now it's back on top, right? So things like that I want to see. So this is, let's say this is a bear flag, and it's kind of coming down from 122 to 2.49. Now my target is I want to see if it continues to hold, right? If it holds, then I would expect an upside move. Anything above, right, above this 111, it invalidates the bear flag. Anything below, right, that 104, it confirms your bear flag to the downside. Your next target would be somewhat, 99.45. That's based on the Fibonacci. This considers the weaker support and resistance. So typically when you use Fibonacci's, right, the strongest support and resistance considered to be 0, 61.8, and 100, right? So those considered to be the strong support and resistance. Anything between 38, 50, that's typically your watch zone or your buy zone. If you're looking to either short side or, upside, that's something you could start playing depending on your trading style. I'm pretty much always play on the bull side. And then sometimes I hedge it on the downside, right? So that's a different styles of trading. If you guys are into, playing both sides, you should always play both sides, cover your, assets or whatever you want to do. So that's what I'm looking at for AMD side, right? So what else can we see, right? Anything else can you see? And can you guys see from here if I remove it? If you guys are technical charting guys, what else do you see? There was two things that happened before it started running up, right? Anyone want to take a guess? Take a stab at it, doesn't matter. Who asked me? Earning this week's no DJS, WID. Okay, I'll get back to those. So what's happening here? Do you guys see anything else before I start making a big move? Can anyone take a guess, guys? Anything else do you see? Any other patterns that's here? Maybe a descending triangle or an upside. Okay, so do you guys see something here? Right? If you want to start seeing, let's say, another triangle here before it might start pushing up, right? Does it make sense? Do you guys see it before it starts? So it did the same, almost the same thing here, right? Before it started pumping up, right? It broke through that, right? It's the same philosophy, right? So we want to start watching to see what is it doing again, because it took a hard beating the last few days from its high of all time 122 and came down. Now we want to see if it breaks above and starts running again. Is it possible? Right? We don't know, right? We have to watch and see what the markets do in the next few couple of days. This was a big runner. Someone in the room says something about snow. Snow was mighty good actually on Friday. We had a lot of alerts on snow. It was moving up. Let me see on the daily 5 minutes. So if you see on the 5 minutes, it kind of did a pretty good move, right? It did from 247 all the way to 268. That looks roughly about $20 move on a Friday, right? So this is a big jump. Earning coming up, I think someone mentioned. Let me see. Earning is scheduled for the 25th, which is, I think Wednesday it is at the market. Okay, so what am I seeing here? Anyone? So Shant, I know you asked me about this earning. What are your thoughts on this? What do you see on the chart since you are looking at predicted move? So what do you guys see here? Anything? Yeah, so it kind of, so these lines I have, so I just moved it to my higher time frame, right? So this is what I have my 55. This is my 200 actually, right? This is my 200, this is my 50 day, and this is my 100, right? So what happened here? It almost broke below the 200 and the 50, then it kind of closed somewhere in this range, which is still good, right? Now, what I want to see, if all looks good, I want to see if it gets above the 50, kind of crosses the 200 and move upwards, right? This has been a zone for a bit. So let's see from here on. Let's see where it's going. Kind of here, right? It kind of fell down from this nice uptrend it was trying to do for a bit, right? You guys see it here, right? It kind of bounced in this. So I want to see if it's kind of get back in this zone or kind of takes a beating doing earning. It is uptrend so far. You guys see here, it's a squeeze building right here at this portion here. Let me bring up something. Hold on, so I could start drawing for you guys. PE. Okay, Epic Paint. There you go. Let me just bring this up for a second so I could start drawing and pointing things for you guys. All right, so let me do bubbles here. So this zone here, right? There's a squeeze forming, right? Even though it took a dump, the RSI kind of nudges down. It went to the sell side from here, big sell button, right? So this is the average line that I had, this orange line. It sold off pretty big and then kind of reversed from here. I want to see continues to build the squeezes. If it triggers this way, then obviously, you see it's a bad news. But after earning, if it start picking up, it might pick up either direction. So I kind of watch the red light to see if I have a yellow or a green light to go either side, right? So that's what kind of squeezes a momentum indicator. It kind of tells you that squeeze is building up, right? Sometimes you see here, right? All of this, it was kind of squeezing for multi-day, then it kind of fired downward, but the squeeze was still there. It didn't really did a big push the way it did on this move here, right? None of it. It just kind of held and then slowly kind of came down and started squeezing from this range. It moved up and then it kind of went flat, right? Sorry, kind of went flat, not a big move from here to here. So we want to continue watch from here, a bounce like, right? And see what happens if it breaks above or if it tumbles down. That's something we need to watch, but this is a good zone kind of got above 200. So this is a strong support and a resistance level if you play, moving averages and whatnot. So this is a good way of watching it. And typically when it comes to earning, it's pretty challenging, right? We don't know which way it's going. A lot of the tickers have been doing so good with their earning, but typically what happens, right? It takes a dump, or it just pushes even with the bad earnings. So we don't really know what earning could bring us, but we need to watch it. So far it kind of did pretty good moves from here at the bottom, right? Let me draw something else as well. Let me see what it did. So it did move, right? And it did break out this nice resistance level here. So let's say right at this point, right? So it kind of did break above and start pushing up. Do we want to see if it breaks above or breaks below this? Now, as of yesterday on Friday, it is outside the triangle. So I want to see if it gets inside it or continues to fall down, right? But RSI looks kind of bad here, right? It kind of went from the green zone to the red zone. And my ref, which is John Carter's indicator, is also telling me it was in the overbought territory. Now it's kind of balancing between this blue line and this blue line. So this is where we want to see start kind of reversing the pink line. Want to see if we reverse from here and continue to move up. So you see here, can you guys see this one at the bottom? You see the arrow here. So this is John Carter indicator, right? So it has multiple different custom codes built in. So it kind of gives you a pretty good signal. It's almost like the TTM squeeze, but it's an advanced version of it. So you see how it kind of start building up this range here on the red, right? All these red lines is building up a squeeze, right? When it fires, it kind of tells you like a warning which way it's gonna go, right? It tells you, okay, get ready, a move is coming, right? Here as well, you see it says aim. So I look at different thing, right? No indicator is 100%, but it's more to kind of give you direction. Typically a stock moves, on an ebbs and flow basis. If you see ebbs and flow, right? They go up, come down, up, back, right? So that's a standard move. Or it would come down here, up, down, 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 right? So things like that we need to watch whenever you're watching any tickers in any time frame, right? So that's something I do see on charts. I try to draw anywhere I see that's touching a couple of levels, right? If I see head to head touch, right, that's a double top, or you could actually that's a touch, right? It's another line. This is your uptrend line, kind of uptrend resistance, and these are kind of the downside support. So things like that I watch. I trade even on a 5 minutes. If you go 1 minute, I don't trade 1 minute. It's just really, really not a efficient way for me to trade as an option trader unless you are very, very good and you want to start, trading on a microseconds. So I like trading on typically 5 minutes, 15 minutes, to see what it is. And that's what I try to play around with. I think I shared all these reversal and indicators, all the gadgets I have with you guys. It's on Discord. So feel free to look it up. I'll take a pause here. I know I've been talking nonstop. So any questions here? Any questions? All right, so let's move on to DKS. Someone asked me about DKS. Oh, wow. 13, low on a 2. Let me see what the daily is telling me. Okay, so this looks to be in a good uptrend because well, these are my shorter term, right? So I switched it from my high time frame analysis to my lower time frame. So what you see here is 9, then it's 20, 34, and this is my 55, right? This is my 55 moving average, exponential moving averages. So I really like using these. These are pretty accurate when it comes to predicting. So this also looks to be in an uptrend, right? Now, do we know what what's gonna happen on the earning? 50-50, right? A lot of people plays straddle or strangles, right? If you go too far out the money from both side, or you play at the neck at the money call and put. It really depends. And then some of it, it gives you good profit on one side and the other side kind of flattens out. So if earnings on the 25th, which is, let me see, today's the 22nd. So 25th is the Wednesday. So there's a lot of earning on Wednesday coming up, right? So we have to watch it to see. Typically, if you are interested in playing earning, what I used to do, right? I used to see it from the day off, go back at least 3 to 4 weeks, right? And I want to see what the history been since the last earning, right? You see, it had a nice earning, it gapped up, it ran up, and then it kind of fell on that 34-day moving average, right? So then you see here they had this dividend payouts, I think. Yeah, the dividend payout 610, then it took a dump, right? Typically a stock takes a dump after it pays out dividend because people wants to secure their profit and then kind of buy it back at the dip again. And then you see here what's happening, right? Since then, since they did good in the previous earning and they had a good dividend, now people start buying in again, right? Look what happened, 2 weeks, right? This is 721 or almost a month, I would say. Today's the 23rd. So almost a month before the earnings starts moving up, right? So things like that you could follow if you want, if you're interested in playing earning. At least start like a month before to see what the trend is. And then you could play call right around earning, right? Let's say the 25th, you could have option expiring on the 27th, which is a Friday, and then close right before the announcement, right? A lot of people plays that way as well, based on the predicted, movement or uptrend or downtrend, whichever way. Any question? I know someone kind of talked in. I'm not watching the Discord, so if you guys put in question there, I might not be able to see it. Just put it in the chat, right? So that's the case. This looks good. Maybe it will push, right? It had a nice big buy day above average volume, RSI kind of trickling up, and the squeeze is kind of building up, right? So we expect to see a good move. Squeeze did fired up, right here on the 2 days and kind of continued. So let's see if it kind of start building up to that upside momentum again to see 112.09. I would buy options if I do right around at the money at 110 and close before Wednesday to see, if it pushes up, or if you want to hold until earning. Obviously, what happens if the IV crushes, it might kind of, make you go flat if it goes against you. But if it goes with the trend you're playing, then expect, good profit. I think the indexes, the volatility could be, give or take, it could be pretty different sizes. So let me see what's this, 27th, right? 27th, what's the movement? So they're expecting implied volatility, right, is 95%. If you look at the other, right, the other side of the expiration, so let's say September 3rd, look at the volatility, right? Volatility is significantly lower compared to 95 because of the earning, it's already priced in. They're expecting that during earning, it may move $10 plus or minus, right? So what is that telling me? It's telling me that this week by 27th, this stock can move up $10 or move $10 down, plus minus, right? So that's the implied volatility. And what else is indicated? The theta is pretty, 55 cents is the theta. And your delta is about 52. And Vega is about 5, right? And that's the price, because look at the price of it is $5 and 10 cents for literally a week away. And I want to see how is the other weeks is going, right? Not a much difference, even though it's farther out. It's only 60 cents different from next week. So I'd rather go into this, right, at the money at 510 so that the volatility doesn't impact me. And look at the theta, right? It's almost a half compared to this week, right? So theta at 55 for this Friday, and the following Friday it's 24, it's half, right? So that's like almost half the theta, or losing your money by half the times, 55 versus 24 if you go a week out. It all depends on your style of playing earnings, right? So it really depends what you want to do. Many different ways to play straddle. So I typically play, let's say, let me go to the grid again, trades. I would probably play, when I do customs, or if I buy straddles or strangle, I just do straight, right? I do straddles. It gives you, you could adjust it on Thinkorswim, or you could do strangle, meaning right at the money both side, and straddle is bit, far out the money on both side, calls and puts. It really depends your style of trading. So that's DKS, it might push up for another day or two, then I really don't know what's gonna happen, right? If it was other tickers back in the days before COVID, right, a lot of the earnings were pretty easy to predict based on past historical data, right? Now, ever since COVID happened, right, earnings are very hard to predict. It moves on a very different way. It does, good and it dumps. It does bad, it pumps. It's really hard to predict. I don't know why a lot of the bigger hedge funds is trying to mess with the algos, right? As soon as they hear the news, boom, they start dumping it and they start buying right back up. So things like that you want to play as well. Just kind of wait to see, as soon as the announcement hits the market, it dumps, right? Then it pulls back right away. So that could be a buy zone as well if you are kind of focusing on a head-to-head basis. After our pre-market, whatever your trading style is, you can look into it. So let's look at any questions on that. Come on, guys, don't fall asleep. I think I'm talking to myself. Feel
Now
free to.
we hear.
Now I know you're here, but it sounds like no one's talking. Don't be shy, ask any questions. I know a bunch of you guys are here. It's 8 of us. That's 8 questions easy. I know someone has some kind of question, so don't be shy to ask questions, I'm here to talk to you guys about anything. Doesn't really matter. There no question is dumb questions. You always have to understand that, right? Especially in market, it's ever changing every day. I'm learning new things myself too, even though I've been trading for many years. It doesn't really, So let's see what's worked. Oh, this chart looks kind of in a consolidation zone. It's just been sitting on this price range for a long time, right? What's happening? Their last earning, they did 87 cents. There was no dividends, right? So it's kind of stuck in this range play. I want to see what it's, oh, no, the wrong one. I want to see what is it doing on this price level here. Looks like this has been touched many, many times. So let's play around with this range, waking it out. All right. So I'm just adding my price level, right? I want to see where it holds, right? Or where it breaks above for an entry. Let's see here. So this is my top levels I would just put in, right? It's been in this range for the last from 7.6 to 119. So almost a little over a month, it's been in this range. This could be a good play, right? If you have any estimated idea where this might head, this could pay you good if you predicted it. It's been ranging, right? So typically we would expect a motion, right? It's been bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. What happens typically? Do we see increased in volume, right? Little bit by volume. We might see more by volume. RSI is kind of, trying to face up. Volume is right at this level. My ref is telling me yes, it might push up, and then there's a nice squeeze building up, right? This is what a lot of people plays, right? The squeezes to see how many days it's been playing in a certain price range. So typically it could make a significant move, right? Either up or downside. We just need to see what it does. It's been kind of been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oof, that's a lot of days it's been squeezing. So we want to see what it does, right? So look right here. It's squeezed for a bit, boom, then it fired up, right? That's where when it fired up, price moved up. Same thing. Sometime when it's squeezed downward, what happens, right? You guys see here, fired, it came downward, boom, sell off, right? So this is something I like to play a lot. I want to see what's squeezing for how many days and kind of predict based on that. If it breaks above this level, then I'm expecting the next level should be, the price level should be this one, or even, try to attempt to go its higher price. That would be the next expected price level move. If it breaks, obviously it has to break the 240.86 or 240.41 level, then it might push up. And this would be the next hard resistance. It'd be on this point here, right? So this is all level. If a lot of big traders, hedge funds, they all play based on price levels, right? Between a buyers and a sellers. They want to see what price I want to hold it at and what price I want to let it go off. So it's really important for you to watch levels. So that's something you guys could watch for the moves. So this is an earning play. So I don't typically play earning for the last year and a half, ever since COVID, because I played a couple of times and went against me. Before that, 90% of accuracy with my earning play, but now it's just all garbage. Really, really hard to predict what's gonna happen. But if you could catch it right, it's a good money making move, right? A lot of people that plays earning. And then any question on this one, right? So these are my level. I want to see if it breaks above. So let me create an alert. Create alert with drawings. So I want to see if it crosses above my 241, crosses above, right? Then I would say buy calls. So that's my alert. I just want to see what it does. Show alert, right? It will show me alerts, right? These are all my alerts are set. If it bounces above that price level, right? It will trigger the alert for me to buy in. So that's something I like to do, right? Alert myself. I think whatever platform you use, I think most of the platform has this. So you could do that. Or if I want to see break below, right? I want to create another alert. So I would say break below, that's a 228, right? That's my 228 buy puts, right? Because I want to see what it does. And then when you create it, right, it will just create it and it will show you here, right on the chart. It's right there. You don't have to do anything. So that's the beauty of Thinkorswim for folks that uses it, right? That's something I like to do. I don't do anything and I forget about it. I don't have to look into it. So the next one, someone said CRM. Oh, CRM is looking nice. Can you guys identify any patterns on this one? Does it look like any patterns forming here? Anyone? I don't know, I could be wrong, but it kind of looks like it's kind of like a cup and handle, right? Maybe I'm not connecting the dots right. It could be this points on 2, then kind of when zoom on this line and it's kind of holding, right? Like the next consolidation period, it's been building up, you see. It did not really fire properly. It's been ranging, so it's happening again on this zone. So now it's moving upward. Let me clear this out for you guys so we could see it clearly. So that's a nice uptrend it's holding up to, right? It's a long uptrend, but it's been laggard in the price. So let's say it's been laggard on this range, right? And I want to see if it's extend drawing. Okay, redraw as channel. So let's say this is my price channel. This is where I want to see it's been playing, right? So that's the beauty of drawing. I'm just keeping things to see where the price goes, right? It can bounce up and down. You could play around this range. Many times people played it. I played it myself. within this range. So that's something you could start looking into as well. Just throw lines, throw whatever you see. This is another resistance level, right? You see how many times it touched, right? So it kind of broke above and it's holding that as a support. It's probably gonna move up to the next level here. So if it breaks above, I wanna see drawing level. Let's say this is my another price level here. Now 259. I wanna see if it ever crossed 259. Yeah, it touched many times, so it could easily break, right? For things you have to watch on a longer picture. That's what I wanna do. But this looks like to be going in the upwards too, but earning again. Wow, Wednesday has a lot of earning, right? We have a lot of earnings, and so far we've seen about 3 of them has 825 earning. Sushant, any question on these? All right. Okay. So then the next one is Piton. And then I'll go over some of mine. Oof. This don't look good. What is it trying to do? It's strictly downtrending right here. Can it keep touching these levels? Yes. It break below. I want to see if it holds or breaks my triangle, right? Drawing. So this is my triangle. I want to see what it does the next couple of days. But so far it looks everything is kind of in a downward trend. Can it break above? Yes, it could do a pretty good move if it breaks above this trend line and pushes right through it, right? Typically, I like to play this kind of charts if I see it's kind of squeezing out and it might break right above it, right? But then we don't know. We have to watch since we are looking at daily. So if you trickle down to the next, let's say hourly candles, right? It's been pretty bad the last few days. It's just been coming down and down from here, right? It's been on this price zone. That's another triangle that I draw within my hourly, right? You could draw anything you want, as long as it respects your levels and stuff. So that's a nicer way of drawing things if you guys like drawing. If not, then you could do things on your own too. So if I want to day trade this, how do I day trade this? How many of you are day traders here? Like true day traders? Anyone? Guys, any day traders or no? So if I want,
Me.
and who's me? Sorry, I think I didn't catch your name there. Oh, Anam. Oh, yes. So Anam is a pretty fast and pretty effective day trader. He's one of our top analysts, right? He plays really good options when you looking to do day. I do more of a swing because I don't have too much time to look into chart all day, right? But I do. But when I see my profit of 20% or more, I'm out. Typically, if you want to day trade any stocks, what are the key rules for day trading? Anyone? Let's say I don't have any of these on my chart. This is my naked chart. How do I play this? Anyone? And you could help other guys talk, man. This guy, they're shy. They're shy. What is
I don't know. I don't know what they're like what they want to work on. They want to work on strategy. They want a entry point, exit point. I don't know what they're looking for. I mean, we could go over these tickers all day and find patterns and stuff, but it's
yeah.
I think it's better.
If you guys
what-
ask us question, right? We could talk
right,
about
if they
things all
want to
day.
know like what do we see to gain entry or I don't know I don't even know what kind of trade they want to do, So if you do dead trade, you look for specific things. If you want to do swing, you look for different things that doesn't apply on day
Yeah,
trades.
excuse me. This is Atahar. Can you just discuss a little bit about entry point and exit point for day trading?
Good point. Okay, so basic, I'll pass it over to Anna before I go in. So if I want to day trade, right? If I want to scalp or day trade, whatever, I see what's my pre-market high and low, right? Typically, it's almost work as magic, right? If it breaks pre-market high, I always see it running. 90% of the time it will run unless there's something new, right? So that's my pre-market high. That's my pre-market low level, right? See these little dots, there's like not really any price action there, but since it's pre-market and after hour combined. So I just see what are my levels for the pre-market or pre-market high and low, right? If it's above, that should be your good support of a bounce. Either it's a double bottom, triple bottom, you wait for reversal, right? So these are your support zone, what you want to see, right? Everything goes from a price point. Everything is, either people driven or algo driven. So look at this, right? These are all the supports. It touched once, came back down 1, 2, 3, back again, right? Then it finally broke off. So this is your nice triangle here, right? Things you want to draw, if you want to draw things on a pen and paper, if you like drawing. If not, then you really have to understand your candles. You have to really memorize your candle, but it's kind of tricky and hard. Not everybody remembers every candles. I even forget. There's like so many different patterns, but I look at my price levels when I'm trading. Very few basic things to look at when you do tradings, right? Either it's the 5 minutes, 1 minute, 15 minutes. You have to look at your day trading, strategies completely different. I always look at my daily chart before I start jumping into anything else. So I'll pass it over to Anam. He could tell you guys what he looks at, right? I look at certain thing, he looks at certain thing. Everybody has a different perspective in terms of how they want to trade things, right? Anam, back over to you.
So me personally, I mean, it depends on time of the day first. I like trading in the power hour, usually till 11:30, take a break, then come back in around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And in that middle time, analyze the swings. Sorry about the background noise. I could show you guys like one of the old trade that I took, what I'm looking for, and then maybe you guys could get like an idea of how I do it. My trades are usually pretty quick. I'm looking for certain amount. Usually, depending on the stock price, I go in usually 2 or 3 contracts, targeting somewhere between $50 or so per contract, and then start trimming. Usually, you'll see my alerts saying I want to go for a swing, but 15-20 minutes later I have enough profit, so I just close it. I don't even swing. I don't like swinging. I'm impatient. I want my money right away. If you how can I show my
Hold on, I have to make you the host. Give me a second. Hold on.
Oh, hold on, I'm on my cell phone though. I gotta log back in. One sec.
Yeah, just tell me what tick, I'll bring it up. While he's working on that, so let him come back. So this is my daily chart that I had for Apple, right? I drew this many days ago, right? I think I shared with some of the guys from my team, that I play with. It's nothing, right? This is a bare naked chart. It's nothing but price levels, right? That's what I do. I have flags here. I have bull flags. I have, flags drawn all over the places. That's what I like to trade off, to see where the price holds, right? That's how some of the algos are even set. You want to see where the price is holding value and where it's going to lose value and where it will come back to touch it again. That's, it has to come back to a point. for my suggestion, learn and study the Fibonacci's, right? You guys could murder it, like literally make a lot of money using Fibonacci's if you become good at using Fibonacci. Now that I have all my fun gadgets and stuff, then you could see what my Apple chart looks like on the daily, right? I moved some, look, there you go, see? I have a lot of different stuff on it. It's just, another level of confirmation. But if you see, basically it's just levels after levels after levels. And it's been respecting since like the 120 level. It's been going up, down, up again, down again, and bounces again. All right. And you back on your computer? All right, I guess he's on mute. So that's, you could look at.
Yeah, I'm here.
You ready? You want me to swing it over to you?
Yeah.
All right, let me swing this share over to you, participants. Okay, and I'll make you the host. So make host. All right, you are ready to share. It's on your card. Go ahead. You could bring up your screen. Guys, feel free to ask him question in the chat or wherever, right? That's why we are here. We don't want to sound like we continue talking about what we do. And I have all this indicator posted for you guys in the Discord. If you cannot find it, just ping me offline and I'll show you where things are, what setup I use and whatnot. So for anyone that's interested in learning what are the tickers, right? There you go. Okay.
Okay, so basically there I don't play that many triggers. These are some of my watch list. So basically this is my setup, right? I always have either NQ or the ES, depending on what this over here says. If it says NASDAQ, I usually follow NQ because I want to see the overall market move before I get into a trade. If it's bearish, like right now, look like NQ is got rejected over here. So right now I wouldn't get into a call. I would rather get into a put. So, things like that. If you don't look at features, you are just blindly trading. So I rather look at the feature before I get into a trade. So for example, one of the trade I did that was very, very profitable was, let me see, which one was it? I got into Moderna, okay, Moderna, right? So Moderna, I got in at around 10:49 a.m. So let's go Moderna. Right, so usually when I trade, I have these setups. Okay, this is basically what I'm looking at. And then before I got into a trade, I get my little window up here. So Moderna, when I took it, it was at this point 10:49, so it should be around here somewhere. 10:49 would be 40, yeah, around here, right? So this is where I got in 5 minutes, extend it. Okay, so over here, this is my 34 EMA, 55 EMA, you got the VWAP and 200 EMA, right? So when it came over here, as you see, like this is, by the way, Heikin-Ashi, however you want to say it. It's not your regular candlestick. It basically tells you about a trend.
Pause it there for a second. Do you guys know what difference between Heikin-Ashi and the regular candles? Anyone know? So basically, Heiken and Ashi, it's a Japanese candles, right? It kind of irons out the excessive noise between the trend. So it kind of smoothens out all the noise is between a trend and regular candles. That's the only difference you will see. If it continue to go up, it will stay green. If it continue to fall, it will remain, pink or red, whichever way you have your chart set up. If you look at, on Baba's chart, he has pink and green. Is the same theory as green and red, but it's a smoother look. There is not too much noise on the chart. That's something I like to use as well for my longer term trading. Go ahead.
Okay, so 1049 would be around
Up. There you go.
49 on here. So this is basically right over here. Now this is 1 minute. I don't use 1 minute, it's too much noise. I'm just 5 minute and 15-minute guy. Okay, so this is where I got in, and basically this is where I exited out. So over here, I got in because it came into one of my support. This is an hourly support. It came in, the candle started going smaller and smaller. Then it started giving indecisions. You see the wicks are on both sides. So Heikin Ashi is, the other candles are usually, the wicks would be over here. But in Heikin Ashi is, if you have the wicks down here, that means it's on a strong downtrend. When you see wicks on both sides, that means indecision. Market doesn't know what to do. So it started becoming smaller and smaller. It bounced with a doji over here, confirming a reversal. I still waited for this candle because it was still under the VWAP. And then the VWAP broke with volume. If the VWAP broke without volume, I wouldn't get in. But you see this yellow line over here, this is like the average volume basically. It broke with volume. I got the MACD confirmation on 5 minutes. I got MACD confirmation on 15 minutes. And you got a doji on 15 minutes. So it's a strong indicator of a reversal. So I took a trade over here at 1049. When did I get out? I got out, I think, 53. So that was like a 3-minute trade. So 53 will be where? 53 will be over
Right
here.
up top. Yep,
This
right up top, right
here.
there. The first high of the day. I mean, of
Yeah.
the trend.
So look at this. This is basically 1 minute, 2 minute, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And sooner before I even started dodging, I got out over here. You know, this is like a almost $100 trade right here in 3 minutes. So with option is like, see the stock you could have gotten in over here. Then as it comes down, you keep buying, and nothing happens. But if you would have bought option and you buying over here, basically you're done. Because even when it came down and went back up, even if it goes up over here, if you buy it over here, and after the stock goes down, eventually the stock will go up here, but you're still gonna be in minus. You're not gonna make money. Your premium will be like cut half, and you'll still be negative even at this point. So option, it's a bit tricky. You gotta get in, you gotta get out as soon as possible before the premium goes up, before any data comes into play. That's why I don't even like, if you do swing, you gotta do at least 2-3 weeks out. Otherwise your data is just gonna eat away. Another tips that I could tell you guys about day trading. Let me see if I could share this window. How do I share the window? Hold on, I'm trying to find out how to.
You might have to do a new share.
Oh
Slowly.
yeah. All right, so another one I want to show you is, okay, this thing. If you do day trade, this is basically where I buy and sell, right? You can see the active trader, right?
Hold on. Take a pause there. And do you guys know this setup? Do you guys know how to get to active trader and all that? If not, Baba could quickly show you, right? So this is an automated template he builds out. I use it sometime. It kind of tells you your stop loss points and your profit level, right? It could automatically build it out into Thinkorswim. It based on either stock trading or option trading. You could look at where the buyers and sellers are, what the bid and ask, the spreads and all that, where the most volume is. You could look into all that in Thinkorswim, but he could quickly show you how to build out one of those. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
And then you can,
if you need, we'll go over that. That's not a problem. We'll help you set up all this up. So basically, my trade, I go in either with 30% loss stop, or 35 cents stop, or a 50-cent stop, depending on the stock, depending on the time. But these are the only 3 stop loss that I use. And I always use a stop loss. I never want to trade naked, because nobody knows 100%. I don't know 100%, but the probability of our trades are higher than your average, that I could tell you. But usually I would go 30%, 50, or 35. If it's stock like Tesla or Amazon, I would go $50 on it. Going into a trade, most of my trade usually around $2 to $3. I don't go more than that, because I buy more than one contract. I usually go into, like I said, if it's cheap, I'll go in more. And yeah, you gotta use this, because over here, unlike Robinhood and other shit, you could see. So for example, like you see 9 over here, you see 15 over here. This means if the stock price hits 148.28, you got 9 people that want to buy a contract at that price. So you know there are other people that want to get in on that price. So you rather go in with the hard, instead of going along by yourself over here. I'd rather go in with the big hard. But also you got to look at this, because on Moderna last time, what happened was, as the price was going up, I saw sellers coming in. So there were like 35, 40 sellers over here. So you don't want to go over here. It's a risk. If you want to take it, it might go higher. But if you see a big number over here, you might want to put a exit out over here. So that way, even if the stock comes down, you could always get back in, but you want to take the highest price available. So these are some of the little tips that should help you in the long run, especially if you take my trades. These are the rules I go by. These are the rules that you should go by, because if we are both in the same page, we're going to be making the same money. I'm making maybe even more. Sometimes I'll get into a trade where, the price decides to pull back or something, and then you guys could get a better price on it. Sometime I'll put an alert. Let's say on Moderna, right? I put an alert. So another thing is, let's say I get in over here, and the price of the trade was, I don't know, for example, let's say price of the trade was 825. By the time I do an alert, this will go up a little bit or go down a little bit. So you got to do your own DD and find out, if it pulls back, how much of it will pull back, so you could get a better price. Or, sometime, like, for example, I got out over here because I was happy with my trade. I had enough gain on that single trade, but doesn't necessarily mean you have to get out. You could have rolled this up to here, or you could have waited. When it pulls back, you could have bought another one, rolled it up to here. It's all up to you. Just because I got out doesn't mean you have to get out. You could ride it longer. Me, like I said, I'm impatient. As soon as I see 20, 25% or $50 a contract, I walk out. And then when it does a pullback, I probably would have got in over here, ride it over here, or when it pulls back over here, because the whole day it was running. The whole day you could have got in and out, in and out. If you really quick trader, you could have check this out. So sometime on Fridays, right? Friday, I don't like doing too much alerts because it's very risky. But Friday, what I would personally do, I would, because these are my levels. Um, you gotta trust your levels. When it bounced from here, I would have gotten take this candle out. Probably got out somewhere over here because this candle and this candle, this is like $100 move right here. So I probably would have got out over here, wait for a pullback. Even if you do Fibonacci, like Reagan said, you do a Fibonacci, you would have came down over here. You could got out over here, and then write it back, buy a put over here. Buy a put, go all the way down. So you could play with it, in and out, in and out. Also, if you look at, let's say 5 minutes, right? And you got to look for patterns. So coming tomorrow I got my eyes on this one again. Probably gonna be expensive. I don't know how much, but tomorrow I got my eyes on this one again. So these are my levels that I'm gonna go into tomorrow. So any chart you want to find levels, right? For example, I don't know, Tesla, most popular one, right? So I already have levels on my Teslas. The tickers that I play, I already have levels. So the trick is better to stick to certain tickers instead of going all over the places. These are my mornings. So Tesla, yeah, Tesla on a consolidation right now. So Tesla, I probably wouldn't play tomorrow. Yeah, Tesla's still hugging my 200 EMA. If it breaks above, like I wouldn't even play it if it doesn't break above 700. I probably scalp it. I probably scalp it tomorrow. If it breaks, let's say this high over here, I'll probably scalp it. But I highly doubt it. Because Tesla is one of those crazy ones, they'll eat your data if you don't get the right timing. But yeah, it's not great moves. If it comes down, Tesla, let's say for example, if it comes down to this level, I would probably take a trade up because the highest it would probably go up to 680, from 670 to 680. That's like a $10 move. So if it comes down here, I'll probably take a trade up. But if it's around this zone over here, not my thing. But yeah, these are some of the tips, man. I mean, there's so much strategy, so much tips, but I can't just go on talk about all this shit. It just you have to trade, you have to ask questions, and you find things out. I can't just go on because I'm not gonna be able to cover all that. But there's so much. You gotta find your own strategy. You just gotta go with it. My baby's crying. I think I'm annoying everybody.
Nah. All right. So yeah, I think we hit that top of that hour, right? It's almost been an hour we are talking. So we'll pause it here. Again, we'll continue every Sunday, right? At the end of the day, just to see what are things, coming down, where things are. If you guys have any charts, questions, always ask us, right? Um, always do your own work and then challenge yourself, right? To see if I'm wrong. I could be
I'll give
wrong.
you the host, by the way.
Yeah, okay. So I could be wrong, and could be wrong. Anybody, right? So you really have to look at your own price level, entry, exits, whatever you are looking at. It's your point of view. You have to really trade around. So I typically trade around my own tickers. I have many different things here, right? So I have my option list, my favorite ones that I always look at here, right? And then anything that pops up, sorry, ignore the name concubines. I put funny names to see what things does. These are all my custom coded stuff that's there. I already shared that with you guys. If anyone needs anything, um, feel free to give me a shout. I will be happy to share with you guys. All right. And then we'll resume back on next week, and then we could follow up on new items if anything pops up. Any questions before we wrap up? Guys, yes, no, maybe so. All right, guys, have a good one. I will talk. Okay, I think someone asked a question, one quick question. When do we average down or always stick to stop losses? Good questions, right? It really depends on tickers, right? Some tickers moves on its own patterns every time. It's almost identical. If you play with the same ticker, right, you could see what the movement is like. For example, I don't play Tesla, right, until it's Friday. I really want to see what Tesla is doing. Look at all my drawings on the chart, right? I draw things. If Friday comes, if I want to look at, let's say 5 minutes, I want to trade something, right? And I would trade it based on where my levels are for the intraday. If I see something is, earth shattering happening on the trade, then I definitely take it. But, you really have to understand what ticker you are playing. Always keep, 4 to 6 that you play all the time so you can learn their behavior, and then play one off, if you want to play, but
So
always
let
have
me
levels. Go ahead.
let me add something to this. So you said about what was the question? When do you average down or always stick to? So stop loss, you always have to stick to it because any news might come in and market will go so quick, especially in option, that you're gonna be holding the bag for the rest of the day or the week. So stop loss is I would, like I said, depending on the ticker. If it's Tesla or something, I don't want to lose too much. Usually, I get into a trade where I'm confirmed it's a stock that's gonna go my way. I would put certain amount like $50 or something. If it's a $250 trade, I'd rather lose $50 than lose and keep holding on to it. If it's a slow moving stock like Microsoft or Apple, I wouldn't even use a stop loss on the $50. I would go by levels. Uh, Maybe a little below my support, I would put a stop. So it depends on the ticker. Also, for the average, like I said, you have to look at the indices. If it's like, for example, this Tesla on this day, right? Let's say you buy it on top at Fibonacci 38 at 38.2. Once it goes down, that's it. You're not gonna, even if the stock goes back up in the midday, you're not gonna be on the plus side because whatever you buy in that early morning time, the premium, the volatility is so high that once it comes down and goes back up, you're not gonna be making the same money. So me personally, if it's a down trade like this and the market indices is down, I wouldn't even average on a down trade. If it's a loss trade, it's just a loss trade. The more you average, the more money you're gonna lose. Um, if I would want to average it, let's say, then for example on this trade, right, on this Tesla, let's say I buy it in the morning sometime and it dumps. I would not, and then what I would do, I would draw a trend line, uh, that downtrend, the continuation of the downtrend. I would draw a trend line. Once it breaks that trend line and goes up on a second candle maybe or the third candle for confirmation, then I would average in. If it's still going down, you think it's gonna bounce, or forget what you're thinking. You don't think. When you trade, they say you gotta move the emotion out of the way. So don't look at your play loss. Don't look at anything. Look at what the chart is giving you. Draw a trend line on that downtrend. If it breaks, yeah, average in, and you might come out winning. But every green candle you see, you want to average, it's not gonna work out. You're just gonna keep losing money. So even those like Tesla coming down, right? It came down, then you see some green candle going testing that 34. That doesn't really mean that it's going up. Every stock, it moves in a wave. So even if it's a downtrend, it's still gonna give you green candles because it's on a wave. Algos doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, I see one green candle or two green candle, okay, it's a reversal, it's going up. nah, it doesn't work out. So that's why you need to draw a trend line of the downtrend. Once it breaks, then average in. Otherwise, if it's a losing trade, it's just a losing trade. You cut loss, wash your hand and move on to the next one. Because if you hold on to a losing trade, there are other tickers that are moving past you that you are missing out because you kept coming back looking at this one like, oh, I'm losing this much. When is it gonna go back up? In the meantime, there are like 10 other trades happening that you could have made double the money, but you're stuck with this one because you're losing money on this and emotionally you got attached. So you just dump her, move on to the next one, and you make your money. The longer if you hold on to a losing trade, basically you just stuck with your ex. You're not gonna go anywhere. Nothing gonna change. You just hurting yourself. Cut loss, lose the money, move to the next one, make the money, and you'll be happy.
All right, guys. Anything else? All right. So thank you everyone for joining. We will resume back next week on Monday, same time, same place. All right. Thank you. Have a good one.